This episode of the Bear and the Beard podcast is brought to you by, well, you.
That's right, Fandomites. We have launched a Patreon for the show, and we're asking you to be a part of it.
We are going to take out only what is necessary to keep the show going and to keep attending live events every month.
And the amount of funds still in the Patreon after that will be donated to our friends over the Children's of Mississippi.
That's right. In return for your generosity, the different tiers will receive different things: spring store discounts, exclusive bonus content, freebies at live events, and more.
So it's a win-win-win.
Shut up and take my money.
You help us keep the cost of the show down, get cool perks, and donate to a great cause.
Sounds simple enough. Join the Patreon today and stay awesome,
stay bearded, and much love. From playing Candy Crush on phone to dropping into Warzone or Fortnite, or immersing yourself into virtual reality, we have endless ways to game in this amazing age of gaming. Today, for a third time, we'll be diving into our gamer talk. So strap your headsets on, plug in your controllers, because it's time for Nerdy Gamer Talk Volume 3, right after this. Please stand by.
What's this?
The Bear and the Beard podcast.
Who?
Just two nerdy guys talking nerdy things with their friends and fellow fandomites.
To be fair.
They may disagree or argue sometimes, but spreading positivity and love throughout the fandoms is the goal.
All right.
It's topical.
And the categories are.
It's funny. But it's always nerdtastic.
I beg your pardon.
Let's check it out.
Oh yeah!
Here we go.
What's going on, Fandomites? Welcome back to, or two for the first time, the Bear and the Beard podcast. This is our third installment of Nerdy Gamer Talk. And
Yes,
we
it
are
is.
going to talk nerdy about a lot of video games.
We are very excited about this. We've been looking forward to this topic for a while, so what's going on?
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Geek Moms. I am Katie, and we are going to be talking about gaming.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Bard's Tavern Talk. Today, it's just going to be me and a solo talk about video games. Really excited about this one.
You know what? I think this would solve a lot of problems if we just did a crossover episode. Get in here, guys!
Oh, hey.
Oh my god, hi! Alright, so here we are.
Like, something was weird because we saw, like, on our screens that y'all were all doing a gaming episode, and
And we're all gamers, so we might as well get together and talk about gaming, which is today's topic! Welcome back, listeners and viewers.
for those of y'all that are not familiar with our guests that have now joined us on the show, we have Katy Cat from the Geek Moms podcast. You can go and follow her over on Twitch. We'll put that link in the description. Our resident gamer has more devices than all of me and Brian put together, I feel like. What's going on, Katy?
Oh, no, not much. Just hanging out. Was doing a gaming episode and figured, I guess all of us are doing it at the same time, so let's just do it.
Might as well. Through the magic of podcasting, we're all just crossover episode. We also have joining us not on video but audio, so all of you audio listeners, you're not missing much. He's not on the screen, but he is here. It is the Bard himself, Tyler the Great from Bard Tavern Talk. What's going on, brother?
Hey, guys. I am here. Very, very happy to be here. I missed you guys.
We missed you too, man. It's been a while since we've chatted.
I know. We've been busy down at the tavern.
We have our group chat where we check in on everybody and post nerdy stuff, daily, but it's just not the same. It's just not. So
Now,
I send
with this-
iFunny links daily.
yeah.
with this being volume 3, we have never talked this kind of stuff with the two of them, so you may hear us repeat some stuff that we've said in our previous episodes. We're just getting back into talking about gaming. Some stuff new, some stuff old. Gamer talk.
I know that one of our topics for one of our gamer volumes, I think it was the first one, was what games got us into gaming. And I will remind everybody that I think the first system I ever owned that wasn't a console was the Game Boy. Played Red.
I had a Game Boy. Yep.
I did too.
Same.
Now I had played Mario and all that on my cousin's SNES. They had all the Nintendo systems. The first console I ever owned was a PlayStation. Played Crash Bandicoot, which I now get to play on my PlayStation 4. I am still working on It's About Time, but I have beat all the other Warped and previous. So that's me. What else got everybody else into gaming?
So for me, I playing Pokemon on the Game Boy is the earliest gaming I remember. And then I still remember the first Christmas I got my PlayStation 2, and I hadn't got into a console gaming yet. And it was actually a combined gift for my brother Dustin and my sister Kaylee. And Kaylee was super excited when she saw it. But Dustin and I looked at it like, why are we excited about this little black box? And then the way my dad explained it to me, when we would go over to our uncle's, we would sometimes play Halo on their Xbox. And so we plugged that sucker in, and I can't remember what we played. It was probably some Call of Duty game from back then, and never looked back.
I do seriously want to sit down and do an evolution of Call of Duty for the two of us at some point. I think that would make for an awesome episode, because I remember playing all the way back to Big Red 1. Like, that's the first one I remember playing. When they were based off... Okay, all of my Call of Duty fans, don't get mad at me, because I'm a Call of Duty fan, but when I say... There's only one way I can say this. When the video games were based off of real wars that have actually happened, like things that we know happened, not this Black Ops, this might have happened over in this thing and with these made up villains. Look,
or the moon stuff.
The story's still good. Okay, it's still good, but I remember a previous time. So,
a time before.
Yeah.
In the ancient times of early gaming. Before we had free Call of Duty stuff like Warzone 2.0 just launched.
Still haven't got a chance to play that, but I've heard it's nice.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to play it either.
I played it, so I have a love-hate relationship with it. Really kind of loved the Warzone Verdansk, and so I'm still sad that Verdansk isn't back. And I'm also a little upset that I spent all these years on Warzone acquiring these skins, and they mean nothing now, because now they're starting over from scratch. It's a whole new Warzone. It's a whole new game.
Doing Activision. Oh no!
But having said that, the game itself is pretty solid. When you're actually in the game, they have this thing called proximity chat now, where you can actually chat with enemies if you're near each other, which I think is just amazing, because it can lead to all kinds of hooligan stuff.
I remember when we found out that was going to be a feature, I was making jokes like, oh, so when they come in the house, I could be like, it puts the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again.
One thing I've seen a lot of people on TikTok videos doing is they'll pretend they want to be someone's ally, lure them in, and then they just gun them down.
Jeez.
Come on, want to be friends? Want to be friends? Come here. I won't shoot. Just come around the corner. Bang.
When we do finally get into proximity chat matches together, I want everyone to mute me, because I'm gonna have it to where as soon as someone walks into the room, it's gonna be "Welcome to the jungle" blaring through my headset.
Either that or "Tiptoe Through the Tulips."
Right.
I mean, or you could just play some Through Fire and Flames and really truly terrify someone.
Dragon Force.
Now, one game I know that three of us have been playing for quite a while that we play together.
Is it the knife fork?
It's the fork knives.
The fork knives.
And I actually loaded a video that's from a match that the three of us played.
Oh, is this the?
Okay.
We have
Yes!
two perspectives. The first perspective you'll see is me, and the second perspective is Bear watching my amazing rude kill.
Oh, that's right. I remember this. Okay, let's play it.
Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the
I just obliterated that guy.
Oh my
I
God.
obliterated him. He had
Headshot
to
with
have
flare
low
gun.
health though,
Yeah,
because that was
but
one
still.
shot with a flare gun. He had to have gotten hit by someone.
That was awesome.
It looked like Katie was resin someone over there by that rock.
It's probably Mama Bear.
Probably.
It might have been. I think that was before Mama Bear played, because
It might
that was
be.
from February.
So I don't play Fortnite. I played
Yet.
Legacy Fortnite. I like
What's
how it says
Legacy
yet.
Fortnite?
The very first before the updates ever hit. The very first.
Oh,
Fortnite.
like the Save the World campaign stuff.
yeah.
Oh
And
yeah. Okay.
and
OG
so
Fortnite.
oh yeah, and so having survived that horrible experience, I have lost my taste for Fortnite.
Well,
I am an Apex
We all
player.
have a love-hate relationship
I'm
with
about to
Yeah.
make you into a taste tester. You fix to get on a game with us.
But yeah,
Dude.
that's where we hang out the most is on Fortnite. Even though
Yep.
it pisses us off, even though we hate the aimbotters and all that
I-
crap.
I cuss a lot. Just a heads up.
So do
I
we.
mean,
So do we, yeah.
I'm just saying. I hope
Look,
you don't record
this-
this.
This podcast may be rated E for everyone, but gaming with Bear and the Beard is so not. It's just
Agreed,
not.
agreed.
So Tyler,
Oh.
you were mentioning a game before the chat.
I was, and it actually goes into what got me into gaming, which this is going to date me a little bit, but I started with the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System,
Yep.
and Zelda, and I absolutely loved
Big-
it.
Big cartridge that you slid into like one little thing
Right.
that just stood
When
up.
the
on
game
the
doesn't
floor.
work, you just
It
beat
did
the
not
hell out
stand
of the
up.
console.
I had the OG system that
Oh, you had the
it
OG.
went in,
OG.
It went in horizontally.
Oh, okay.
And then you had to push it down, and then it would work. Anyway, and see, I think you're thinking of the Super Nintendo system, which came after.
They put out a version of the original Nintendo Entertainment System
They did, yes.
that you could put the NES cartridges in, but they stood up.
Right.
It was, and then they went to the SNES that also stood up, but it had the different cartridges.
Well, I had the original one, and then my grandmother had the other. Well,
Oh.
I'd playing the original system so long, and then going to a Japanese RPG game on the Super Nintendo was like a complete change in everything for me. And if anyone recognizes the name Akira Toriyama,
Why
Yep.
does that name sound familiar?
because your entire childhood was drawn by him.
Oh, okay. Well, that
Dragon
makes sense.
Dragon Ball Z. That's Dragon Ball Z is Akira Toriyama.
Oh, okay.
Right, and so is Dragon Warrior. Well, Chrono
Okay.
Trigger, right? So Chrono Trigger is like a Square Enix brainchild, and it's got several different endings and a bunch of really dynamic characters, a crazy twist at the end. Even the bad guy, you have like a soft spot in your heart for the evil bad guy. It's just such a good story. The puzzles are good. And I played
So
it.
the MCU didn't invent that concept?
Absolutely not. No. But to tell you how much I love it, I actually paid for it, which says a lot. And on everything that I own, I can download it on my phone. I have it on my Xbox. I have it on my PlayStation. I have it on my Switch. I have it literally on everything.
Wait a second. You have an Xbox and you still haven't joined us on Fortnite?
Because I don't have online yet.
Well,
I was
Yet. He
gifted-
said yet, though.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Fortnite works for free. You don't have to have Xbox Gold.
I don't have any more excuses then.
Because
Well,
and
then.
that's a nice change I love that Xbox has made. It used to be really strict, like yet. For our audio listeners, Bear just put up yet.
So for anybody listening to this, you know what we're going to be doing after this? We're playing some Fortnite.
Our gamer tags will be in the description.
Yes, add us and join us.
Our Xbox
but-
gamer tags, our PSNs, whatever they call those, the Nintendo one, yeah, all of them.
Right.
Originally on Xbox Live, you had to have Xbox Gold to watch Netflix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
I
then
never
they
liked
stopped.
that.
They stopped the forcing you to have it for streaming, and now any free-to-play online game like Warzone or Fortnite, you do not need any memberships, nothing. You just download it. All you need is an internet connection, and I just think that's amazing, as it opens up the world of these kinds of games to people who may not be able to afford a really expensive game like Warzone 2.0. I think is great for the people who cannot afford Modern Warfare 2. They get to experience some of that same gameplay for free.
Well, I like the concept because right now we have this. I don't remember what it was called, but I remember watching a few videos on it about how the price of games is really getting crazy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, like, think about this. Red Dead Redemption 2. How long's it been out?
A while.
Been out for a few years and it's still full price.
It's still full price. Has not gone down a single cent. That's
But
depressing.
in defense of Red Dead Redemption 2, that game may be the most beautiful game in graphics I have ever fucking played.
Hey, hey!
Language.
This is still rated E for everyone. I'm gonna need
You
to
can
watch
bleep
it.
me. You can bleep
Language.
me.
They did give Epic Games did give Red Dead Redemption and Cyberpunk away at a steep discount. I believe Red Dead Redemption went for $19.99 and Cyberpunk went for something like $28.
See, I haven't even played Cyberpunk.
Oh, it's so good.
I want to wait until I get another next gen. Technically, the console I have right now is considered a next gen, but it's not the next gen.
Play it on your
Next
PC.
gen. Well, I just have this laptop. It's not gonna run.
fair
Yeah,
enough.
my
At
PC
all.
can't. My PC can't handle it. It barely handles one of Katie's.
Good for you,
favorite
Katie.
Me and
Just
Katie-
saying, I just got a brand new PC yesterday.
Katie likes games. What kind of
Katie-
game does Katie like?
Katie's the
Oh.
reason that I have Steam, and it barely pulls for Phasmophobia every time she wants to play that.
PC
Yeah,
Master Race.
Phasmophobia.
Tell us about Phasmophobia, Katie.
Well, Phasmophobia is for those of you that like to seeking thrills. It's a ghost hunting game, so you get to go
Full of
in.
jump scares.
Oh yeah,
full of
full of them. You get to go
I'm sure
in
Katie
with like,
jumps a lot.
yeah, I scream, I die. It's a beautiful circle.
Katie, Katie has admitted to me on numerous occasions that she has Phasmophobia phobia. Like she doesn't like to play it. Like she's scared to play it, but she wants to play it.
I'm scared to play it by myself.
There you go.
Not gonna
Yeah.
lie, I was actually playing it right before right before this episode. But I'm afraid to play it by myself. I love playing it with other people. It's a little less terrifying. It's still terrifying, but a little less terrifying. But you get to go in, EMF readers, video cameras, all these different things, and go and try to figure out what kind of ghost it is. There's like a whole list. I can't think of the number of how many ghosts it is at the top of my head, but there's like a whole list of ghosts, and they all have their own special abilities and their own evidence. And so you got to find what evidence it is to narrow down what ghost it is, to figure out what ghost it is without dying.
For all the people that listened to our Supernatural episode, if you didn't, go back and check that out. That was Halloween last year.
Joined by the amazing Tanya.
You get to be essentially a ghost facer. That's
Yeah.
what you get to be in this game in Phasmophobia. You don't get to be Sam and Dean from Supernatural. You get to be a ghost facer from Supernatural.
I'll
it's
tell
still-
you guys
it's really
what.
fun.
As soon as they add Phasmophobia to VR, I'll play with y'all.
Phasmophobia is on VR.
It is. You just have to have Steam.
Oh, you just screwed up.
yeah.
I don't have anything to add it to it. I don't, because to do anything that's on Steam to add it to VR, you have to have a good PC, and I do not have a good PC
So you don't have a good yet.
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 That's gonna be my thing the rest of this episode. Just yet.
So, Katie, what first got you into gaming? We all kind of talked about ours.
So for me, like the beard, it was Pokemon.
Pokemon.
Gotta catch 'em all.
I had a Game Boy Advance, and I don't think that was my first gaming system. Like I played on like, oh god, I don't even know. My uncle had a couple systems growing up. When I was younger, we were playing like Donkey Kong and like stuff like that. And then my mom had a PlayStation 2. My grandmother had a PlayStation, and I used to play Spyro. So maybe Spyro really got me into it.
Yeah, I was on PlayStation.
Oh,
yeah.
Have you played the Spyro remastered?
Yes, I have it on.
I need
have
to
it.
download that again.
I'm pretty sure I have it on my Xbox and my Switch.
Here's an important question for everybody. What was everyone's first Pokemon game?
See, I can't remember. It was a little orangish, reddish cartridge.
Blue.
That's all I remember.
I think it was. Oh god.
Maybe it was a brown
Fire?
or something like that.
Mine was yellow.
Mine was blue.
She's probably talking about Fire that came out for Advance.
Yeah, that's the first one I remember.
Fire
Red
Red
was epic.
Yeah,
it was an epic game. I remember that was
Fire
like
Red. Yeah.
Fire Red and Leaf Green were remakes of Red and Blue that they put out on the GBA. I had those as well.
They came out so good. Oh, I'm so glad that was what you started on. Now, Beard, you said yours was.
I don't remember. It's been so long. I was in 3rd grade, and I just had this little Game Boy. It wasn't even a Game Boy Color. It was like lines and stuff. An old Game Boy, and I loved it. I was obsessed with it.
Oh god, that could have been
that. I'm trying to think because so there was.
Did you have it nano?
It was red, blue, and then yellow.
Right, which I had yellow. That was the one I started on.
Then they went to silver, gold, and crystal.
Right.
Crystal was the one where they introduced the legendary dogs.
Right, which was cool.
And then they went to the GBA after that. So you had the little smaller cartridges.
I think he was talking. I think he was talking about Crystal.
I'm gonna guess if it was 3rd grade for Brian, it was probably gold, which again a solid Pokemon game.
Great game.
All of them were. I mean,
the day my life was changed was when I had a Pokemon game on a Nintendo DS and there was colors and animations to it.
Yeah,
right.
That changed my whole life.
That was such a good time for games.
Man.
So Tyler, you said you have a Switch. Are you playing in the new Pokemon game?
No, actually, apparently it snuck by me. I wasn't aware there was a new Pokemon game.
Yeah, it's Violet. It's Scarlet and Violet. I have Violet.
The first open world Pokemon game ever.
It's pretty epic.
Apparently, Windows has a new update.
Don't click it.
don't click it.
It's a trap.
I have Windows 11 for my PC.
Yeah, that's what it's trying to make me update to is the new Windows 11.
It's very crunchy. I love it.
I'm talking about updates.
We're talking about Windows updates here.
Well, while we're talking about updates, can we talk about one of the crucial parts of gaming is the digital world is now like you buy everything digital. I know Brian, like a lot of your whole library is digital, right?
I do not own a disc.
Yeah.
Not a DVD, nothing. All movies I own are digital. All games I own are digital.
So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you hate it when you go to play a game with your friends and it needs an update? Even though it was supposed to update automatically.
I get aggravated.
I haven't had that problem in a long time, but that is the worst feeling ever. When it just didn't update. Even when you have it set to update.
Or when you need to reinstall a game you've already owned to be able to play it, and you're like, oh, the wait time is 4 hours. That's great. That's fantastic. Now, I'm having a great day.
Katie's frozen. Oh, no, she's not. You were frozen. So one thing, I don't know if this applies to digital video games, but I do know something weird about owning digital movies. Not that they ever would, but when... Oh.
Got it.
At any time, they could take away any digital owned movie, because all you're doing is buying a license to it, and when you agree to that license, you agree that since you don't physically own it, they could take it away without even asking.
Yep.
It could just be gone. Now, I've never had that happen with anything I've owned digitally, but the fact that that's something you agree to is very weird.
Voodoo did it to me.
What's that?
Voodoo did it to me.
You're muffled.
Voodoo did it to you.
Voodoo? Yeah.
Oh, Voodoo.
They did it to me. They took 100 and something movies back from me.
Yep.
I had to go through a bunch of stuff to get access to my movies again, and then sometimes it still doesn't work. And it was not their fault. I was caught up in a bunch of other people getting scammed, and my email was in that group. They did what they had to preserve their network. I understand. I was not upset with them. I was just upset that I got caught in the crossfire of that, and in that time span, I lost everything that was attached to my Blu-ray player.
Dang.
Yeah,
and that was back when Blu-ray meant something, by the way.
I buy digital copy movies now, so I still have the physical copy, and then I have the digital copy, which I haven't had to do recently, except for the Marvel movies, because I'm collecting those because I'm insane. Because they don't. I mean, they're all on Disney Plus. I don't have to do that.
Well,
not
there is
all.
one benefit to it, though. If the internet goes out, you can watch your movies.
Yes, I can.
If the internet goes out, I'm screwed. I can't play my games. I can't play my movies. I am just sitting in silence like I live in the freaking 1800s.
Gee, see, I never thought about that because, like, I got my Xbox, so I have the Xbox Series S, which is all digital. And I got that because I'm like, I don't really buy copies of games. My PS5 is not digital. It's the, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's
the disc driven.
Yeah, like, so I guess I never really thought about that. But I mean, at least I have both systems. So if my power goes out, I still got my PlayStation I can play. And my Switch.
I almost got a PlayStation 5, but I weighed pros and cons and decided I didn't need to get myself a new gaming console. And then I got myself a new gaming console after weighing more pros and cons. I got myself one of these. And for our audio listeners, I am holding an Oculus Quest 2. And
I can't do VR. That make me sick.
I've had it since Friday, and this thing has been mind-blowing. Which brings me to what I want to talk about a little bit. Some of my VR video games.
Educate us on VR, Beard.
Well, first I want to talk about something that you know a little bit about. Beat Saber.
First VR game I ever played. Is so good.
So first of all, I am terrible at it. I'm going to preface this by saying I'm terrible at it. I have to play on easy mode, and I have to turn off the failing. Like when too many things pass by you, and you don't get them, and you fail. I have to turn that off. Otherwise, it's just no fun.
Yeah.
But I try my hardest, and I think it's the best workout I'm ever going to get. Because I love playing it, and it's so much fun, and I'm exhausted afterwards. It is a fun workout.
You know what I love about VR so much is that it's essentially the Xbox Kinect where they just put the screen on your face.
Yeah. I think about that all the time.
It gave you two controllers instead of one. I was thinking about getting the PlayStation VR for my PS4 because there's a Star Wars game that I really want to play, but I think it's for the Oculus too. So I'm not gonna waste I'm gonna get one or the other. So,
which Star Wars game is it?
I don't know. You get to play a Jedi. That's all I know. Like you get to play as a Jedi fighting against Vader, and then you get to play as Vader.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
But it specifically came out for VR. Like it wasn't The Last Jedi. It wasn't Force Unleashed. It was created for VR. So definitely need to look into that.
Have any of you played? And by the way, before I get into this, I want to say if you play video games on your phone, you're a gamer.
You're a gamer.
I've heard this debate that's not actually gaming, and that pisses me off. If you are playing a video game, you're a gamer. I don't care if all you play is Candy Crush. You're a part of this.
Look, if I could get these guys as a sponsor, they would be. Marvel Snap is my new obsession on handheld devices.
I
was super obsessed with Among Us on phones, and then eventually I got sick of it, and now I'm obsessed with Among Us VR, which is the same thing, except you're looking around the ship instead of a top-down thing, and you walk around, and it is so much fun.
Well, and I mean, everybody has their own preference for what they want to game on. Like,
Oh, absolutely.
because you say Among Us. So with Among Us, I had played it on my phone. That's how I started. But then I started playing it on PC, and I found that I prefer to play Among Us on PC. Now it varies for me what I prefer to play on what. Like Fortnite, I think I prefer to play on my Xbox. I don't know why.
Have you played on your PlayStation yet?
I have, and I don't know, it just wasn't the same.
You're probably used, and maybe I'm wrong. This is why I don't think I would love a PlayStation, because I'm so used to the sticks being where they are, and I can't imagine gaming like this.
Yeah,
there are controllers. Maybe. There are controllers that you can get that are styled after the Xbox that work for the PlayStation.
Which
and
that's amazing progression if you think about it. Like that, that tells me that the console wars are over.
Oh, what tells me that it's
PlayStation
over is the fact that we have cross-platform.
This is for my Switch.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so awesome! I love it.
But do you guys remember? It was I think it was only like 3 or 4 years ago. The idea of cross-platform, like PlayStation, PC, and Xbox gaming together, was a wild theory we all dreamed about, wondering if it was ever going to happen. And now we're living in that age. This is the time to be a gamer. You have VR, you have mobile. Mobile games are getting so much better.
Yeah, they are.
You can play Fortnite on your phone. It's a little buggier, but you absolutely can.
Yeah.
Well, like, okay, Bully. Anybody play Bully?
I tried to play Bully.
Okay, so
very far.
A PlayStation 2 game. It's basically a high school version of Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah. I bought it on my phone. I play it on my phone. My phone does not care. I can swipe it away, answer text messages, and swipe it back.
That's pretty cool.
A couple of years ago is unheard of.
They make handheld controllers that you put your phone into and plug it in.
Heck, you can even like a headset too.
Yeah, I can link when I was playing Call of Duty on my phone, I would link my buddy's Xbox controller to my phone and play with the Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Like the world is a wonderful place to be a gamer now.
There's the SteelSeries headsets you can connect to your phone or like anything, like even for like PlayStation 5, it has the C port, so you can plug in the C port. So I thought that was pretty cool.
That is very cool.
So, and there are reasons why I do kind of want a PlayStation 5 though. Spider-Man and The Last of Us. I would love to play The Last of Us.
Dude,
yeah, that's on my list to play.
Good.
Don't get me that's what I did over my holiday.
Get me started.
That's what I did over my holiday. I beat Last of Us 1 and 2.
I have a request for you. I'm already sad that I can't play it. Make me more sad. Talk about it.
It is the best. Okay, anyone that's listened to this podcast before knows that my main thing when I go to watch a movie or a television show is tell me a good story. Okay, The Last of Us, just the series. I'm not talking about one game. I'm talking about the first game, the DLC that came out for the first game, which was a little bit of a backstory, and then the second game is the best story I have ever not watched in a theater.
It's emotional. It'll get you.
It is. Oh, it's so good. I don't like the second game had me going 5 times going, that's it? It's over? I can't. Oh no, there's more game. Oh, there's more game. I get to play as someone else now and see what they were up to. And then like, again, like you get done with that and it's like, is it over? Please don't be over. And then when it finally was over, I flipped off the screen, and because the Naughty Dog like logo came across the screen, and I was like, Naughty Dog, F you, but I love you for it. I love you for it. And the fact they're making that into a television show, so now
Pedro Pascal.
I don't know if they're going to be able to bring the same A game, but I hope and pray they do, so that people that have never played the game can experience what I experienced, because it was amazing.
It's on my list of games to play.
You are gonna love it.
You haven't played it?
Tons of
No,
jump
I haven't
scares.
played it.
I played Last of Us when it came out. The first one that came out, I played it, and I remember turning off all the lights and getting so into it and like my phone was ringing, and I just I'd fling my phone off the end of the bed, like, nope, not interested. I'll get back to that
Go
later.
Well, PlayStation, I had a PlayStation 3 back in 2014, and then I had a PlayStation 4 shortly after that. And then I just kind of like got away from gaming, I guess. So I know.
Shame.
It's okay, I did it twice.
But so then I got away from it for a little bit, and actually I didn't even start getting back into gaming, honestly, until I got the Switch specifically for Pokemon. And so I got it because I was like, oh my god, Pokemon, like that's my jam. And then the Beard was like, hey, you should play Fortnite. And I was like, I am not playing Fortnite. Like,
You mean that
no.
game for kids?
Yeah, I was like, that game is for kids.
Your exact words were, "I'm gonna suck at it anyways," and now look at you.
Yeah,
I know. And now it's like, and so that's kind of what really kind of got me started back into gaming. And then I went from, I had my Switch, and then everybody was playing on Xbox. So I was like, you know what? We're just gonna go away with the Switch and get an Xbox. So I got my Xbox, and then afterwards, like my Xbox started kind of like, I had an Xbox One, like the original Series Xbox One, and it kept having issues. So I finally was like, you know what? I need to upgrade. So I upgraded to the S, and then I got another Switch and the PlayStation 5, and as everything just kind of fell into place. And I'm just like, gaming is what I do.
Your Xbox was sitting over here like,
It's fine.
This is fine. This is fine. It's just on fire. I can't believe mine crapped out. Like, I'm so upset.
The one reason I wish that all of you had VR is because of one app in particular. I'm going to call it an app instead of a game, even though it is a game. It's called VR Chat.
VR Chat.
I'm going to be very careful with my wording when I describe VR Chat. It is the most wonderful, horrendous, terrible, a magnificent, evil thing ever created.
It's digital Atlanta.
It is both. It's both going to scar you for life and also make you so happy because of your imagination just coming to life. Right. There's upsides and downsides to it, but I am addicted to it. And the best aspect of it is anyone that has VR can get on it for free, and you just hang out. You literally walk around and hang out with your friends. There's a friend of mine I know on TikTok. Her and I have never been able to chat or hang out. We hung out in VR Chat last night for a good hour with some of her friends, and we just chatted and shot the shit. Now, another awesome thing.
Hey!
There's language.
That's two.
There are endless worlds because people get to create these worlds. And so you can go into worlds to play games. There's a world where you can go in with your friends and play Cards Against Humanity, where you step up to these podiums, and it's like a game show looking thing, but it's Cards Against Humanity.
That's cool.
So it's the Oasis.
I don't know what the Oasis
from Ready Player One.
I have not seen that movie yet.
Okay, anyone that has, it sounds like a very premature version of the Oasis. And
I don't think I've seen that either.
You should totally watch that movie if you haven't. And I also highly encourage you to listen to the book or read the book. The movie was good for what it was, but the book was better.
I
don't normally say that. So
I always encourage people to read. So you should read the book always.
If you can get the versions on Audible where Joss Whedon narrates them, the first book and the second book, they're amazing.
So worth it.
So
that's cool. I want to get VR Chat now.
Because I know you have a VR. If you get more into it, get it more set up, you should definitely get VR Chat because
our good friend Shadowclaw Cosplay gave me I haven't hooked it up yet because I need the wall mounts, but I have an Oculus Rift.
And what's really cool about it is you can basically think of a character you want to walk around as. It probably exists somewhere. I haven't ran into a Captain America yet, but if I really looked, I could find one. Yep. I've walked around as 17 different variations of Spider-Man. I've walked around. One of my favorite skins I use the most it's a mix between Goku and Vegeta. It's called Gogeta.
Gogeta. Yeah.
Yeah. And it is so much fun.
Fusion or earrings?
I'm not a big Dragon Ball Z fan, so I have no idea.
Yeah.
like everybody stopped and looked at my.
Like I had to think about the question because I'm with Brian. Like I know who Gogeta is, but
The
at
most
the
I
same
know
time,
about Dragon
I
Ball
don't know
Z,
DBZ.
the most I know about Dragon Ball Z is what the characters look like, and I know I'm about to say it wrong, but I do it on purpose to piss people off. Plus, it sounds better.
Oh,
The
jeez.
Kamehameha. I
my
love the Kamehameha.
What do
And you
mean
can do
said
that in
wrong?
VR
You said
chat.
it right.
Hey,
I
least-
people scream at me for calling it Kamehameha.
Oh,
Hey,
well, that's a
least-
little too far then.
at least you didn't get it as wrong as the live action movie that made it into a healing thing.
Oh yeah,
So yeah,
have
yeah.
you not seen?
I know
Yeah.
enough about Dragon Ball Z to know that that's
yeah.
fucked.
Don't
Oh
look.
man,
That's
Fudged up.
that's
Damn
on the list. That's on the list, like with the live action version of this predecessor right here. That we don't talk about because that movie
Yeah.
shouldn't have happened.
that movie crapped the bed.
The only good thing about that movie was the actor they got to play Master Roshi. So
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
so-
a huge Master Roshi fanatic. Of all the characters in any animated form, in any way, shape, or form, Master Roshi is my spirit animal.
I need to come to the tavern and y'all need to you need to talk DBZ at someone that's
my God.
only ever seen the Android and Cell sagas.
Oh
That's,
my God.
That's what
So-
needs to happen.
So I have no idea how to create a world in VR chat, but Tyler, if you got VR, you could actually, if you got into knowing how to create a world, you could create
The tavern.
I would do that in a heartbeat.
And there's
Yes!
a way to record stuff, so you could actually record stuff in the freaking tavern.
Dude,
That'd be cool.
we're fixing to take this podcast digital, y'all.
All right, so
Yeah.
first
100%.
big tavern
This is-
investment is going to be some VR equipment.
Yep.
I
VR
have
equipment
no
for the
idea how
tavern.
people create these worlds, but
We'll figure
I'm
it
sure
out.
you could figure it out, and you
We're-
can make the
YouTube.
tavern exactly the way you
We're-
want.
Google.
We're all strapping nerdy inquisitive individuals. We'll find a website to tell us.
I am a
Thank
I'm
you
a
all for
techie
listening to
guy.
my VR rant.
I'm super excited. Like I'm gonna get the wall mounts for mine, and I hope that it can pair with yours at least in like the VR chat and stuff. I mean, same brand. It's just a more outdated model than what you have. So
Yeah.
we'll have to look into that.
So another game I wanted to hear you talk about that you said you wanted to chat about was Fallout.
So
Oh.
I didn't. Okay.
I never got into Fallout. Oh.
So
Oh
Oh my
man,
god.
So I'm going to put pictures in here while I'm talking about this. But so I started playing Fallout before my Xbox died. Now I've played Fallout before, but I started playing back through 3 because we had an event coming up at Dogmud Tavern. Our friends over at Dogmud were like, hey, we want to do Fallout Day. And I was like, all right, let's do trivia. Let's do costumes. Let's do a bunch of stuff.
y'all made
And,
me wildly jealous online.
Y'all, and the reason I wanted to talk about not so much the games are great. Don't get me wrong, they're amazing. The reason I wanted to talk about Fallout was because I told a few people that work at Dogmud, like after the success of that event, because it was successful. Now, it wasn't nearly on level of like our Harry Potter event or something like that, and that's fine. Fallout Day should not have worked. It shouldn't have worked because per our history of events we've been doing with Dogmud, anything small or that we don't promote in enough time or we don't have something that's just eye-catching or something like that to draw in, it doesn't do well. It works, but it doesn't work. Y'all, Fallout Day blew me away. It did, because I was never so proud to be a gamer until I stood up in front of 8 teams of people ready to do trivia about a video game I knew almost nothing about. But I knew enough to go online, like the inquisitive individual I am, and find some other Fallout trivia questions and put them in a nice slideshow. I made my own costume. I went as a
You
vault
looked
dweller.
amazing, by the way.
Yeah, from 101 in the photos. We didn't have a lot of people dressed up, but we had a lot of gamers there, and that was amazing to see because gamers normally Like when our parents know that we're sitting in our room quietly just playing a video game, and they don't know that you can't pause an online game and stuff like that. That does happen. My mom did it. I'm here to tell you it happens.
My mom too. I love my mom. Damn.
But so until recently, like Brian said earlier, it's a beautiful time to be a gamer, because not only are we getting free games that are accessible, that connect us to other individuals, we're getting VR chat that connects us to so many people that also have VR. We're getting Phasmophobia, a Steam game on computer. Everybody might not be able to play it, but it's only like $15 to be a ghost hunter. It's amazing. So on top of all of that, and the evolution of the systems and the controllers that adapt to every hand and feel and all of that, we also have the fact that it's become cool to be a gamer. We have Twitch streamers and YouTube influencers and Instagram people
bank
that are out there making bank for playing video games. If you could have told me 20 years ago, if you'd have told me 20 years ago I was going to be having a conversation online hosting a podcast about video games, I would have called you nuts, because I wouldn't have known what a podcast is. But if you'd have told me at that time, like in 20 years, gaming is going to be so popular, there's going to be gaming tournaments, colleges are going to start having esports teams.
Yeah.
That blew my mind when that started.
How many people's parents, when you didn't want to do your chores or something and you rather play some video games, they tell you, well, video games aren't going to pay the bills. Now they pay the bills for some people. Now that's not going to work for me because I'm not that good at a game.
That didn't age well, did it?
It didn't age well. It's just like math teachers say you're not going to have a calculator in your pocket all the time.
Playing video games,
right?
Playing video games isn't going to pay the bills yet.
One of the things too that I wanted to talk about was the fact that video gaming has become more acceptable, and like now, everybody was like, hey, video games, they're violence and this, that, and the other thing, and blah blah blah. No, there's Peppa Pig. Yeah. There's Peppa Pig. There's Paw Patrol. There's like any kid-friendly game or show has its own game at this point. I know my son plays a lot of them, and so it's like we've come far enough where it's like there's not that many like violent video games. Now there's more like kid and family-friendly games. You got like Mario Party, Mario Kart, stuff like that. Like like it's a good way to sit down and bond with the family over video games.
Most games come with a gore option now, where you can play it with or without the gore that was intended for it, which I find very interesting.
At the same time, the notion that violent video games causes violence is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
Now, to be fair, I think there's more violence caused by Mario Party than violent games.
Yes.
I'm just saying.
No. There's more violence caused by Uno than Mario Party.
This is
right?
true.
That's
this is true.
Hard
That's
game.
true. Oh my God.
You lay down that drop forward, it's fists up.
It's all out. It's in the parking lot now.
Oh man,
Also,
bringing it to the street.
Right.
I've been thinking about this for a second. A moment of silence for Bears Xbox.
Yes. Yeah.
That was nice.
I miss you. Starkbox. His name was Starkbox. Everybody.
Starkbox.
His name was Starkbox. And he connected to my internet, which is called Shield Base.
I love it.
Jeez.
But my external hard drive named the Bear Paw will remain. So I should have called it Jarvis now that I think about it. But
Jarvis.
Not too late to change it. I can't.
Nope.
Either Jarvis or Friday.
Speaking of moments of silence, we should definitely give a moment of silence to the talent that was lost in the past 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Yes,
we're gonna.
We will have some episodes coming out.
We're gonna do some episodes about those. Mm-hmm.
An in memoriam episode, mainly focusing on Kevin and Jason David Frank.
Absolutely. So this will be the first thing out that I'm in since I heard the news. So I wanted to make sure that I brought it
No,
up.
yeah, definitely.
We had the privilege. Well, I didn't meet him necessarily, but we had the privilege of being in the same room as Kevin Conroy at Mississippi Comic Con, and Katie and Jay actually met him. Bear, did you get a chance to meet him?
I didn't get to meet him. I did get to meet Jason David Frank, though. As a matter of fact, it's sad because he told me when he met me, which I have an autographed pop. His photo is right there behind me, signed. He told me that he wanted to be on the podcast to talk about anything we wanted to talk about, comic books, motorcycles, martial arts, whatever, when he got done doing the press tour for his movie The Legend of the White Dragon, which I think is still going to be coming out soon or something like that. I don't know where it's at in production, but so that's sad that it's even more sad for me because I wanted to talk to one of my heroes, and he was also, I come to find out, Stan Lee's favorite Power Ranger.
Yeah.
Saw that video that someone shared the other day.
Well, I shared it with you a while back, but yeah,
you did.
I saw it again. I think it's funny. I see stuff like that, and I immediately think of you guys, and I send it.
Yep. Funny enough, to connect that back to gaming, one of the first video games I ever played on my Sega Genesis when I got it, which was way after it was a thing, was a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers video game based off the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie. It was a 2D scroller, played it a lot like Streets of Rage. You could get the Megazords in and everything. You got to fight Zed and Ooze and Rita and all those. And yeah, it was really fun. And Power Rangers has even developed new games. There's a game on, I think, Game Pass. Or it was, I don't know if it's still there, but it was a Battle for the Grid, which is a cool Power Rangers fighting game you can download. So, yeah, Jason David Frank and Conroy both. Conroy voiced Batman the longest because of his portrayal of Bruce Wayne / Batman in the Rocksteady video games, the Arkham Knight series.
Yeah.
So
and we had a small connection to him, although Bear and I didn't meet him. I stood as close as that wall was over there to me, stood that close to him. And one of the things I loved, I didn't have the patience to stand in line to meet him as much as I wanted to. But I stood there and I watched him for a second interacting with each fan. And going to cons, I've only been to 2 or 3. Most people kind of rush you through the line a little bit. He seems genuinely engaged with whoever's standing in front of him. And I just thought that was amazing. A man in his 60s just going around to these cons, having a fun time interacting with fans. And then Katie and Jay brought up that Batman figurine with money to pay for the autograph, because it costs for autographs. That's just
had
how
already
it works.
paid for it, right? Hadn't you already paid for it, Katie?
I thought he refused.
No, he refused the money.
Oh, that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
because I thought she had already taken the money, and then he was like, "No, give it back because it's for charity or whatever."
As soon as he found out it was for charity. That's just amazing.
That's,
I made a poor decision that day.
When he passed, there was tons of stories similar to that in all kinds of comment sections online of people talking about their wonderful, beautiful moments with him. And it's just someone who interacted with the fans so passionately.
Yep.
He loved his fan base, and that's amazing.
Well, he made his money going through the con circuit, and it wasn't because he wasn't making enough money somewhere else. It's because that's where he wanted to donate his time. He genuinely cared. It doesn't. It seems like that because he is like that. That man was there for us, and that's
he was
why
sick
it hurt.
at Mississippi Comic Con.
Yeah,
and he was there.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do the in memoriam, because I want to try to get in touch with the Knights, because he did a cameo for one of our friends over at the Knights of the Nerds table. He did a cameo for EJ for his birthday, and he talked a lot about like why he's on, like him going to the concert and stuff. I'll have to get in touch with him and see if they can't be a part of that episode. I definitely want to see if we can borrow that and play it, because it's really a message to the fans. It was a message to EJ too, but it was a message to his fans, and it was amazing. That's one reason why I miss my Xbox so much, not. I mean, because I can play Fortnite with you guys on this thing.
Right.
Like, I'm not
Batman
missing
Arkham.
anything. But I have the Steel Box Arkham Knight collection of all of the games, the remastered City and Asylum, and I have Origins on disc as well that I want to play back through so I can hear his voice. Like,
Yeah.
it's amazing.
When I found out, I played some Arkham Knight, and I just went to the clock tower, and I just kept initiating clock tower shutdown just to hear him say it.
Yep,
that voice is just amazing.
It's amazing. I guess the last note we can kind of get on, because we're already kind of there. The emotions that we can tie to video games too. Like, that's another evolution that I never thought would have happened, 20 years ago when I picked up a console, is the emotions that we can attach. Like, yeah,
and the bonds. Like,
Fortnite pisses me off sometimes, but I still play it,
Or
Well, and
okay.
the bonds you forge in these battles. Like,
Yeah.
you and I live 900 miles apart, and it's not just the podcast that holds us together as friends. We do this podcast a couple times a month, but we spend a lot of our time as friends hanging out in these virtual worlds,
Mm-hmm.
playing these games.
I
And
wouldn't have bet Bear if we didn't do that.
That's how we met Katie.
Mhm.
Yeah, or that's
It's
how
just-
I met Katie.
It's an amazing way that it brings the world together. Because the common conception when I played video games as a kid was, if you're playing a video game, you're antisocial, you're not going to have any friends.
Yeah,
And
it's not.
Before online gaming, that could have been true. Like, it's your way to escape. And sometimes it is an escape, but it's also a door to a whole bigger world.
Yeah.
people can use video games for more than just an escape, really. I mean, they can use it for an escape. They can use it to let their anger out. They can use it to calm down. They can, like, problem solving, like in Uncharted, Drake's Journey and stuff. That game calms me down because it's more of it's not the fast paced all the time anyway of like run and gun. It's, hey, how do I solve this problem? How do I fix this puzzle? And I can do that in a game like that. I can, if I want to be Batman, I can go be Batman. If I want to play as one of the Avengers, I can go and play Marvel Avengers I could on the Xbox.
I could rage around as the Hulk.
Yeah, I can. If I really want to let some anger out, I'll go play Fortnite. And as much as that might upset me, at least I'm not upset about the thing I was upset about at that point. Like,
Then
it's
you're
not
hanging
gonna
out with your friends.
amplify, right?
Mhm. And another thing on top of that too is like another with people like, well, you're playing video games, so, you're not going out, you're not doing anything. But now there's games like for the Switch. It's
Mhm.
You get the Switch that hooks up to the TV. You're active. You're doing things. They have Zumba. They have boxing. They have like stuff like that. Now that's not the same as going for a walk or like anything like that. But it's just you're still getting active. You're still, So I think that's
I'm
another
so
thing that's
far
really
from the
important.
Atari
Oh, yeah.
playing Pong with
Well-
a paddle.
Right? Like,
Right.
we do need to do an evolution of gaming episode because where it started and where it's come to
Yeah.
is phenomenal. And what's crazy about that, advancement never stops.
Mhm.
Where we're at right now in gaming, where we're at is someday in the future going to be equivalent to us thinking of Pong.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're listening to this in the future, I don't know what we're doing. We're probably still putting
Probably
on
dead.
episodes.
Right. Hopefully.
But if you're listening to this, if you somehow found this podcast in some sort of Last of Us dystopian future or something like that, just know this we see this as the time to be a gamer, and we're wrong, because tomorrow's
You're in
another day. Next year's
Right.
another day.
Mhm.
Everything's going to be advancing. We're going to be doing this kind of relates. We're going to be doing an episode about Avatar, the James Cameron film, when the second one comes out. They waited for the technology to be made for them to make that movie. Gaming's not doing that. Gaming is going, we're making stuff, which they did that for James Cameron's film too. But there are game developers going, okay, look, this is cool, but we need to invent this thing over here to make this work. So let's invent that, and then we're going to put that into the game, and we're going to make it an awesome thing.
Look at how
So
far VR has come. At first,
Yeah.
I had one of the early VR things. I ended up selling it a long time ago because I wasn't using it that much. But all that was pretty much you could sit down and watch Netflix in VR, or you could go through these VR experiences. There wasn't really games where you walked around and punched things and did cool stuff. And now VR is where it's at now, and it's not done.
No,
It's not done.
it's just beginning.
this company right here, and Annapurna Interactive, not a big name. No one knows who that is, right? Like if I just said that in conversation, we know Activision, we know Epic Games, we know Valve, we know all the other companies, right?
Mhm.
They made one of the highest grossing selling video games last year, and it's about a cat. You get to play as a cat.
Oh
Yes,
my God,
Stray.
Stray.
Until
Oh my
Stray.
God,
I
yes.
haven't played it, but I've watched a lot of
Amazing
gameplay.
game.
Yeah,
Amazing.
I have it on
played
PC.
it. It's so good.
It's
so
also
good.
really, really good marketing was to do with that. But
Yeah.
that also is an amazing game. There's also a bunch of
Yeah.
ports you can
You
can
get to run
mod
around
that
as a
game.
cat and meow. Like,
Right.
come on.
And the world of
I could do that in
remakes
VR.
and everything
Oh.
else. Like I'm looking at the screen.
You want to talk about things
sequels
that'll
and
give me
remakes. Final Fantasy VII remake,
Oh.
remade with today's graphics. Same game.
glorious.
It's amazing. Yeah.
You want to talk about games that give you like emotional reception? Like there's a gambit of those for me. There. Anybody play Morrowind?
I did not.
Okay, it's Rage.
It's
That's
Elder
what that
Scrolls,
gives-
right? Elder
yeah.
Scrolls Morrowind. Yeah.
That was right before Skyrim. It was very glitchy. Think of Skyrim, but dumb and blocky and amazing and
So
wonderful.
No.
Well,
Fable?
wor- somehow worse and better than Fable.
yeah. Fable
But
was
Fa-
good. I like
Fable's
Fable.
another one that gives me like the fluttery heart things. I loved that game. Anybody remember Seaman? Came out for Dreamcast.
No.
Let me date myself really far
No,
back
you
there.
just dated yourself because I don't
Mhm.
remember that.
Okay, so it was an aquarium, and you raised this alien fish, and it talked to you the whole time.
Oh, that's cool.
And it talked to you in a British accent, and it would cuss at you and throw shit at you, poop. At
Hey!
you.
Oh
Stop!
my gosh, all this language.
I know. I'm sorry.
Free
It's
for
me.
the whole episode.
I like-
God.
I like.
gosh sake, watch your language. That's not going away anytime soon.
No, it's not. No, it's not. You're completely right, Mr. Evans.
I infected the episode with my bad language. But no, you had to take care of like bugs to feed them, and eventually they would grow old and leave and come back, and you could have these really deep philosophical conversations. But the reason I cared so much about this game was it was narrated by Leonard Nimoy.
Okay.
Oh, now I need to
Yeah.
go find this.
Yeah, it's very, very good. You have to talk to him. You have to go through all the weird things to get them birthed. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
But I played this game with my mom for years. So there's like a lot of attachment there. And then my love for Star Trek definitely drew that out even more. So you want to talk about an emotional game? You'll play it now and you'll get kind of teary-eyed when it opens up, because if you rush Leonard through his conversation, he sounds all kind of bummed out about it.
Yeah.
And it'll mess with you because he's passed now. And it's like, oh man, all right, I'll reset the game.
That's awesome.
The game itself is not emotional. At least it shouldn't be. But one game that I fell in love with and have an emotional connection to is BioShock, the original BioShock, because when my grandmother passed, and she was practically my second mother. She practically raised me. Even my mom will say that. I needed an escape. I needed something to get my mind off of it because I took it so hard. My friend Drew Guy, and I have a connection to that as well. That's sad. He loaned me his Xbox 360, and the only game that he had a copy of that was story driven was BioShock, and I played it for 3 days straight in my room by myself. I wasn't eating, but I wasn't alone, I guess is the best way to describe it. And then that game came out with a sequel, and then another sequel, and now I'm looking forward to the fourth installment that hopefully is coming soon.
As long as they took it, better be good, because Infinite blew my mind. It was so good.
I can't wait to see what comes out of GTA 6 because Rockstar, I feel like every time they come out with a game, they top themselves with graphics. I thought when I played GTA 5 that this is peak Rockstar graphics. And then I played Red Dead Redemption 2, and now I go back to Grand Theft Auto 5. And although I still love Grand Theft Auto 5, it's nowhere near the caliber. Oh, we lost the Bard. We lost a tavern talk guy.
He'll probably be back. What's okay? I forgot to mention this a minute ago. Unreal Engine. We all know what that is. If we're gamers at all, I'm sorry, you tried to add him and then I added him. Unreal Engine is used in filming now. Like, it was developed for video games. It wasn't developed for filmmaking. They used the newest Unreal Engine when they made The Mandalorian Season 2.
I didn't know that.
That's a video game thing that was used for filmmaking, essentially. I mean, because that's what Mandalorian is.
I'm so glad you brought up Unreal Engine because I can't play it because I don't have next gen, but Katie, you could play this experience. It's free to play. The Matrix Unreal Engine, all you can do in it is walk around, but it's showing where gaming's going as far as graphics.
Yeah.
They walked up to this apartment building, and usually the way video game developers create buildings and rooms is they'll take the same 4 things and just copy it and put it over and over again. Every single room is detailed differently.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
That was actually
detail into it.
That was actually something they didn't. They had to cover up the fact that they didn't do that in games like Last of Us and stuff like that. They blot out the windows until you're close, like until you're like right up on the window, and then you can see inside. So that's really cool. Like, I can't wait to see what that looks like. 5 years from now, we're gonna listen back to this episode and go, "Man, that was old tech." Like,
you guys have no idea what real gaming is. Jesus, dinosaurs. Oh wait, that's me.
All right,
now we can plug it directly into our brain, bro. Where have you been?
Yeah, dude, Sword Art Online, like one of my favorite animes because it's based around gaming. I'd do it.
I would do full dive.
If I could log out, I'll do it. Like, I'll do full dive as long as I can log out. Yeah.
Did you see that the guy that made the Oculus system made one?
Is that true?
I don't know if it's true. Anyone out there wants to fact check it? I looked it up and they said it was true. That. But I mean, I've looked it up several times. I feel
like that would be like assisted
suicide. I think it's an art piece. I don't think it's something that he's meaning to actually sell. I believe it was something, because if you look at the pictures, there's a Sword Art Online sword right next to it.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's
supposedly an Oculus that if you die in the game, it kills you for real.
But I believe it's a stunt.
I don't know about that.
I don't think I think it's for sale is my point. But it is definitely an interesting dig, and he's not denying it from what I can see. Anyone sees anything other, please let us know. I don't want to be wrong, but
and that was one of my favorite things about watching Ready Player One and listening to the books, is because they have it's essentially full dive technology, except in the real world, you're running around on an omnidirectional treadmill. You have sensor suits for your hands, for your, you have a suit you can put on that feels the things that you're feeling in this virtual world and stuff like that. And it tries to replicate the sensations and, as best you can. And that technology, if we can just get there, like, I don't need full dive. I'll take full dive. If I can get to where they were at in Ready Player One, I'm happy.
Now, here's the question. Now, I do not believe this one bit, but with how far technology could come, do you guys ever think about the possibility that we're just someone playing a video game?
You know, there's one really big thing that'll blow a hole in that.
What?
If you're a person playing a game and someone else across from you is another person playing a game, then you're in a multiplayer game.
We're in an MMORPG.
Where are the real NPCs? Who doesn't have a backstory for real?
Well, let's be honest. There's some people in this world that give off.
Yeah,
I
Let's be
understand that.
honest for a second.
Understood, but they
But
still have. They
What's
still have
that one
backstories.
scientist's name? The Neil deGrasse Tyson. Is that? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Yes,
I listened to him talk about it, and
love that man.
basically he says they can't prove it's not true. You can
Wait, hold
not
on.
believe it.
If we're gonna talk Neil deGrasse, I gotta get some music in this piece. This is called Into Space.
I heard him talking about it, and he says it could be. They don't know, and there's no way to disprove it, and it doesn't change anything about our reality. We're still living our lives, and it's still important to live our lives.
That's
We
where I
won't
was
know
going
until
with
the day
that.
we die. But so it doesn't change anything. It's just a cool concept to think about. And then there's the conspiracy people who will blow it way out of the water now because we need to escape from this. Listen, if we're in a video game, we all chose to be here, so let's just have fun.
Well,
Right?
all right. So
It's Roy 2.0.
I want to further that by going and by saying this. I think I have some facts that could support that theory that we're in a video game. We have out of bounds areas where our characters cannot go, aka space without the assistance of a shuttle, which could just be a mod. Okay, and
Or
too
expansion
far
pack.
underwater. Too far underwater. We as humans cannot survive without being in some sort of vessel, and then there's even depths that vessels cannot reach. So that's kind of conspiracy nutty.
All right.
If you think about it.
Extreme temperature zones too. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
Think of how
All right.
think of how rare it is for people to like most people to go long distances, travel thousands of miles. You have to get in a plane. And maybe when you're in a plane or when you're in a car on a road trip, you're loading the next
It's
thing.
a loading screen.
All right.
No, it's a cinematic. It's a cinematic because you're still alert, but you're seeing very low quality graphics outside.
What have you done?
I mean,
What have you
people who
done?
live in the city don't understand this, but living out in the country, when I'm going between Stromsburg and York, I have 20 miles or about 18 miles where it's just cornfield.
Been there.
And a little house here, little school here. It could just be copy paste.
Describing where you live sounds like you live in another country. I just want you to know that.
Yeah, because you're from Louisiana down here
Yeah,
in
I
the
mean-
south with me.
we don't even have counties down here.
No, you have parishes.
We have parishes.
How do you survive without counties?
It's
Well,
weird.
it's
New Jersey has
imagine-
townships.
Imagine
townships, yeah.
filling out like paperwork that's like for the rest of the normal states in the in the United States, and it says county, and you're a kid and you don't know the difference between parish and county because they don't teach you that stuff in school. They just teach you that you live in so and so parish, and the parish is okay. The president came to Calcasieu Parish. Okay, Calcasieu. See, it sounds like it's spelled really different, but it's Calcasieu.
okay.
Yeah. What is this word? Geaux.
Go.
You were the only one that they're like.
The only reason I
No.
know that is because I lived in Louisiana for 4 years.
There you go.
It's not supposed to be go, but it's go. Yeah.
It's go. It's Louisiana lore, man. It's weird down here.
Louisiana is a whole different place.
But just a heads up, this is where voodoo is.
Yeah.
Haitian settlers came in and lived, and that's there we go. Boom, voodoo hoodoo.
So I just had another thought about the world being a video game. I'm thinking
did
back to
too.
my days when I worked overnights at a gas station, and all the people who came in and pretty much got the same thing, did the same thing. People on they're on their schedule. They come in, they get the same thing, they pay the same amount of money, they go to the same place after they get it. Those could be NPCs.
You found the NPCs. I was just asking where the NPCs were. You know where they are.
Reminds me of the Truman Show.
I had a thought about that along that same parallel. What if the game we're in is so advanced that there is no such thing as an NPC? We're all player characters. But if you're the main character of your campaign, because that's what they call a story mission now, a story-based game. If you're the main character in your campaign, you have your characters, your tribe that you build, your friends, the people you interact with. But isn't it so weird that we forget a lot of those people along the way? Yeah. Those could have been NPCs with side missions, man. But they were their own player character.
Or they were characters that got deleted.
Here's to break your brain a little bit more. Put yourself in the mindset that you believe this to be true. We're living in a video game.
Okay.
This is where Neil deGrasse Tyson kind of brings it to a step further.
I need the cheat codes.
Are we the first video game? Or are we a video game within a video game within a video game? Where's the first world? Because think about it. We're creating virtual reality inside of our reality to eventually get to that point. So what if we're just one step along that way?
I think you
broke my brain. You broke my brain. No. Okay. All right.
No.
We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here.
Yeah. I do need to wrap this up. But
let's move on to our Talk Nerdy segment real quick, because I do have something I want to ask our fandomites.
Hello, can you hear me?
Each episode, the Bear and the Beard ask a question that they want your input on, along with sharing comments, suggestions, and other things they have already collected. They love to hear from their fans, so let's get nerdy with it.
All right, we don't have anything for the Talking Nerdy segment because it's been a while since we actually asked a Talking Nerdy question. But I wanted to change that this week, and I want to ask you, our fandomites, our listeners, and our viewers, what's your favorite video game? And if you can't narrow it down to a favorite video game, what's your favorite video game right now? What are you currently playing that you're getting immersed in to the point where you think it might be a video game within a video game within a video game to the third or whatever? What are you playing? Mine was Last of Us. I just got through playing those two games. They were fantastic. Brian, you're in the VR world now?
Yeah, VR. I'm gonna say VR chat.
Okay.
Call it a game, call it whatever. Yeah.
I don't have a favorite of all time, so I'm going with the favorite at current. Katie, what you got? What you really loving right now?
My current favorite, y'all could probably guess already. It's Phasmophobia.
Of course. Tyler, do you have one that you're playing right now, or do you have a favorite of all time?
Actually, I have a favorite of all time. Of course, is my Chrono Trigger. But I am right now. I am crushing Cyberpunk. I absolutely am obsessed. I love it. I just watched the anime, which is glorious. Oh my god! But yeah, Cyberpunk is definitely. I'm all over it.
Hey, Keanu Reeves, man. I'll when I get my Xbox, I'll probably get Cyberpunk.
Oh, it's so good. That's so good. The story is so good. They did a great job.
All right. Well, that is going to take us out of our Talking Nerdy. Send those in so that we can either in comment form, message form, call the Talking the Nerd line, whatever you want to do to let us know either what your favorite of all time is or what you are currently just kind of obsessing over what your favorite right now is. And let's play that outro music for that.
Be sure to send in your response to this week's Talk Nerdy topic and any other nerdy stuff like episode topic suggestions, fan theories, or cosplay photos so we can put it in future episodes. If you think it's nerdy, we want you to share it. The Talk Nerdy links like the email and website are in the episode description as always. And don't forget, you can also call or text the Nerd line. That number is in the description as well. That's all for now. Let's get back to the show.
I am back just in time to wrap it up, I guess. I really enjoyed.
Great crossover episode for sure.
Definitely.
Well, I do have something I want to say real quick.
Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Eddie, thank you for canceling class tonight, making this possible for me. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Eddie.
Thank you, Eddie.
But yeah, it's been a pleasure talking video games with you guys, and we do these about once a year. Actually, it was just time for us to do this. Be on the lookout for our next episode, which is most likely going to be the in memoriam, remembering some awesome fallen legends, the talent we've lost this year. Not only limited to Conroy and Jason David Frank, we're also going to talk about losing Betty White, because we never really delved into that when we lost her back at the end of last year. And yeah, we lost Rubius Hagrid. Hagrid played Rubius Hagrid this year. There's been plenty of legends and legendary actors and singers, songwriters, stuff like that. We're going to touch on as many that we can in our next episode. And then after that, hopefully Wakanda Forever. We're going to be doing that.
And then Andor soon.
Yeah, and then I have to watch Andor so we can do an Andor episode. So if you're hearing this and you want to be a part of any of those episodes, if you have a good story to tell about anybody, any famous actor or actress or musician, anything like that was lost within the past physical year, not just in the year 2022, get in touch with us. We'll have you on the show, or at least incorporate something, maybe a recorded message or something like that. If you want to talk Wakanda Forever with us, if you're a Black Panther fan like we are, let us know on that too. We'll try to get you on the show. And in the meantime, guys, don't forget to check out Geeked Moms. We'll hopefully be having a new episode coming out soon. I know you and Mama Bear have been
our Patreon.
Very busy. Yeah, don't forget to sign up for the Patreon for ourselves and for Bar Tavern Talk. They have their own Patreon as well. And go and check out that
subscribe.
Show. Hit the like button in the face and do all the things. Subscribe and go and add us as friends. All of our gamer tags are going to be listed in the episode description. In the
game with us.
Yeah, come game with us. We're probably gaming right now as you're listening to this. If we're not, it's probably because it's a week and we have adult responsibilities. So, but in the meantime, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you, Katie and Tyler, for being here. I've been the Bear.
I've been the Beard.
We want to remind you, as always, to stay awesome,
stay bearded,
and much love. We'll see y'all next episode. Until then, we are.
Boom, cut the check.
That was totally wicked!
Thanks for checking out another episode. We hope you enjoyed it. New episodes are released every other Friday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Check back then or subscribe so that your device downloads it automatically. Audio episodes are available pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts, so it's really easy to share them with all your nerdy friends. For YouTube viewers, subscribe and click the little bell so you're notified about all our new content. Links to talk nerdy to us can be found in the episode description as always. You can chat with the Bear, the Beard, or the rest of the Bearded Bear team, head researcher and graphic designer, Mama Bear, the social media sorcerer, Nerd Squatch, the master of marketing, Han Bralo, the master merch fabricator Tyler the Great, or any of our public liaisons, Mama Kim, Katy Cat, or JB. Huge thanks to them, the geeks of the round table, and all our awesome friends of the cast. Much love y'all. Lastly, for more cool music like this awesome outro track, go check out Harlequin Soul, Secret Apex on Facebook and Spotify. His links are in the description as well. Talk at you next episode, nerds. See you then. Welcome to the end. Are you a fan or just pretend?